an angry mob hurls snowballs at nervous sentries guarding a customs house. Suddenly, there's the blast of a musket. More shots follow. After the last musket is fired, 5 colonists lie dead in what the Sons of Liberty will dub the Boston Massacre.
My name is Lisa and
my name is Ploy.
So we are from room 1112. Today we're going to sum up about the Boston Massacre incident in our ebook. From the previous video that you just watched, it is a scene about Boston Massacre. You might be wondering what is Boston Massacre, or some of you might heard about it before. So Boston Massacre is one of the most important incidents in our history. It have a huge impact between the British and American relationship. Boston Massacre was a street fight that occurred on March 5th, 1770. It's a street fight between the British soldiers and the mob, which is the American side. So the mob were throwing snowballs, stones, sticks at the British soldier. The British soldiers shoot back to protect themselves, and then several colonists were killed, which led to the campaign by the speechwriter towards the ire of the citizenry. So each side tried to make a propaganda to attack other side and insult other side to make a bad reputation and to make them look worse by using the newspaper as a source of propaganda.
So, as Lisa said before, that each side has made up the propaganda to make themselves look better. So I want to add that there's 2 different people, like the colonists and the soldiers, because they have a different point of view, and the colonists think that it's not fair that the soldiers shot at them. And basically, the causes start from a mob. And as I showed the video, that it's about the Crispus Attucks, that he got shot because he the first man that got killed by the soldier. And on the evening of March 5th, 1770, British troops fired into a crowd of angry American colonists in Boston, who had taunted and violently harassed them, and 5 colonists were killed. So the event became the Boston Massacre because it was a crash between British troops and a group of colonists. So the colonists were still angry about the previous events, particularly the Quartering Act, and then the relations between the soldiers and the colonists were poor. And then the colonists started to throw the snow at them.
You might be wondering what happened after the incident. So the crowd was eventually dispersed by the acting of the governor of Boston, which that time is Thomas Hutchinson. 13 people were arrested, including the 8 British soldiers, 1 officer, and 4 civilians. They were charged with murder and put in jail, awaiting their trial. British soldiers were removed from the city as well.
And when did you hear the command to fire?
After the first shot went off.
And did these words come from behind his men?
I think they did.
And you swear that Captain Preston did not shout that command?
So the trials on November 27, 1770, the trial of 8 soldiers began. The government wanted to have a fair trial for the soldiers, but they had a trouble finding a lawyer to defend them. And then John Adams eventually agreed to be their counsel. Adams felt that while he was a patriot, the soldiers deserved a fair trial. Adams argued that the soldiers had the right to defend themselves. He had shown that they felt their lives were threatened by the crowd that had gathered, and then 6 of the troops were found not guilty and 2 were found guilty of murder.
So the results of this incident is 5 colonists were killed by the British soldiers. The British troops in the Massachusetts Bay Colony were there to stop demonstrations against the Townshend Acts and keep the order, but instead of controlling the situation, they provoked outrage. The British soldiers and the citizens brawled in the streets and fought in bars. So that's all for our ebook.
Okay, then this is the end of our presentation, and I hope that this ebook will make you easy to understand about this topic and know what Boston Massacre. Then according to our pandemic situation, and we cannot go to school and gather together, so we decided to make this ebook because it's easy to understand because we can put some context, some pictures, and make it easier to understand.
So to add on from Ploy, we tried to make our ebook as much as interesting as possible by decorating it and keep the text as simple as possible. And we tried to put the pictures in our ebook as much as possible, even though there weren't that much pictures in the internet due to that there weren't any cameras at that time, and there were only drawings from about this incident. And also we put some videos from the documentary in these presentations for the viewers to get more idea about the incident. And it's important to understand about this incident because we can understand more about the British and American relationship, how the system works, what is their background history that they have, yes, and how cruel the incident was. And we can understand both sides that each side have different opinion about this incident, such as the British side, they think that it's how they protect themselves, but how the soldiers protect themselves by shooting at the colonists. But for the American side, they think that they don't have rights to kill people. So by understanding this incident makes people understand it from different perspective and have a clearer view about this incident. So that's all.
So the Boston Massacre is just a part of American Revolution, but it's the biggest things that made the revolution more completed. Thank you.
เฮ้ยมึงได้อยู่